I love this. This is wonderful. We're so close. I don't think I've ever been to a convention where everyone's so close. Look at this. Do this. How's everybody? Everybody's good? Yeah. Me too. I actually, for the first time in about, I don't know what, 6 weeks, I don't have jet lag. I've actually been in one place for a while. We've been in London, so I'm caught up. I did not travel well I have to tell you, I did not travel well. All the places, we went from London to LA and then to Australia in 2 days. And I'm the worst traveler, and then with a baby on the way, I'm a mess. I was a mess. Any great ideas for names? Tell me, because see, they're coming. No, I want to hear them. I want to hear them. Oh, wait, Osby? Osby's cute. Osby, they're very cute. All right, now wait. I have to tell you this is very important about me. Anyway, my memory is awful. I have a very fuzzy, strange way of remembering things. I remember, get in, come on in, get comfortable. There you go. Hi. Poor things are just like, oh no, what are you I was just saying that my memory's awful. If you say to me, remember in the show da-da-da-da-da, and I'll have to say, wait a minute, is that when the Klingons boarded the station? And then I'll know, okay? But so I'm that way anyway. But pregnant, you know about pregnant women and their memories? And I'm very close to Ronald Reagan right now. That's my only warning. Other than that, I should be in good shape. And please ask questions, because that is the best way for us to get to know each other quickly. Okay? So just I promise to be very honest. I am. I'm one of those. I'll tell you the truth. You know what? It's just too hard to try to make up some politically correct answer. And it's ridiculous anyway. Why shouldn't you know the truth about all of this stuff? It's interesting. So does anyone have a question? No? But I'll say,
during the first episode, first season, The Search, near the end of the episode.
Oh, see?
The bit there, like you're going through with Odo, and you bang your head off the side of the wall. I just wondering, was that done accidentally or was that
Okay, when I bang my head off the side.
like that?
No, all those things are carefully planned out.
Are you kidding? Do it now?
No, I am. I actually am. Everything that is filmed, it looks so good.
Well,
I mean, it looks so accidental. Yeah, perfect. That's what we want. But no, if something happened like that was an accident, we would refilm it, because they don't like things like that. So it's all pretty much planned out. Yes.
In crossover, you're much more salacious and sexy.
The attendant isn't bad. She's just dressed that way.
As opposed to normally when you're an independent party lady off the station, which would you say was more your personality, Lee?
There are people that would say, well, there she is, when they see the attendant. I tend to, and it's just, the way I'm known for lounging on the set, and I don't just sit normally in chairs, but you know what it's all from? It's from having been a dancer. It's not romantic at all. It's not like, oh, what an interesting way of moving. It's because I have injuries from dancing from all over my life. I'm 38 years old. So right now, it's much more comfortable for me to be like this. Not because I'm trying to look graceful, but because my hip's killing me. So the way she moves, yeah, that is more of the way I move in real life. I adopted Major Kira's way of walking and everything. As a matter of fact, one of our executive producers told me early on, you're walking like John Wayne. And I watched some of this stuff, and sure enough, it wasn't John Wayne. But now, have you seen La Cage aux Folles? No, what's it called? The birdcage. You've seen it over here? Remember that scene where he says, well, I guess John Wayne did walk that way. So there you are. I'm not in such bad shape there. I'm not so far from the female thing. So it's a mixture, actually. I smile, and my sense of humor is probably more along the intended lines. But the way I react to things that are important to me, that's absolutely Major Kira. Yes.
How did you learn to fight?
How did I learn to fight? Well, when you fight on a set, I have to tell you, Buster is my son. He's 4 years old. He was 6 weeks old when I got this job. He's never seen the show. But because we sometimes had 20-hour days. I am going to answer your question. Because we sometimes had 20-hour days, he has to come to the set. Otherwise, I don't see my son. So, and I'm Buster, I don't like guns, and da-da-da-da. And, all this, no violence, no hitting. The day he came to see me, I wouldn't have had a bigger laser. And I'm in this real spacesuit thing, and I've got this huge laser, and all the stunt guys have squibs, which are the things that explode, and they go, ah, and I'm just killing everybody. And Buster was like, wow, mama. It's a touchy thing, talking about violence and hitting people, because got such a thing about it. But the hardest thing in the world when you're learning to fight like that is to not really hurt anybody. It's almost like dancing, because you have to come really close to them, but not touch them and not really hit. So it's almost like learning. Do you take any kind of dance? No? Oh, well, there you go. It's like learning steps. It's exactly like learning steps. And you're not angry, and you're not really trying to hurt anybody, but it looks, when it's filmed, it looks like you're really doing things like that, but it's more like dancing. That's what it's like. That's why I can do it, too, because I kind of understand that concept. Yes?
Have you ever heard anyone when you're fighting?
Yes. and we're having a real fight. I wish I could. That's it. Thank you. And we choreographed it. We were two women, and we felt really strongly we didn't want to look weak or not interesting, and we wanted to make it very realistic. And we started to fight. And the man who teaches us how to do it said, really, she was wearing this huge leather thing. And he said, really touch, make contact with the leather, otherwise, from the angle that the camera's at, it won't look real. So we did it, and we were into it because we wanted to show all the guys on the set how tough we could be. And we were really emotionally, you know, and with my first hit, the look on her face. And then her next hit, she really hit me. And we were off. We were infuriated. We did what you're never supposed to do. We got emotionally carried away with a fight. Because I really hit her by a mistake. She really hit me to get me back. And by the end of it, we were laughing so hard because it was in both our minds, we've totally gotten carried away. And of course, the crew's there going to see women, they can't take it seriously. Little did they know, we were really not, the air was knocked out of both of us. We really hurt each other. So sometimes it doesn't quite work out the way it's supposed to. Yes?
Welcome to Ireland, first of all.
Thank you very much. You see what I got this morning? I had to go out and get a sweater. Now I feel right.
We've heard rumours, or at least I've heard rumours, I'm sure everyone else has, that next season Major Kieran may be expecting a child like yourself.
Yeah. No, but this is the interesting thing. I'm gonna. Do you want to know or do you not want to know? Yeah. All right, I'll tell you then. And anyone who doesn't want to know, you have to leave now. Plug your ears. This is smart, I think, of them. Now, Keiko and O'Brien were expecting a child anyway, right? And then Siddiq and I call our executive producers and say, guess what? We're going to have a baby. And so they're going, it's a population explosion. I mean, not everyone can have a child. Hear what's going? So how they handled it, instead of putting me behind, you know, counters and things like that and just doing extreme close-ups, thank goodness they're not doing that. They decided that Keiko, Dr. Bashir, and Kira are off on a mission. They get into some bad turbulence. Keiko's in trouble, and the only way to save the baby is to implant the baby inside of Kira. She's the only other woman on the runabout. So because of Bajoran,
physiology.
the baby cannot be taken out safely without involving both our lives. So I'm carrying their child. So I'm a surrogate mother for them, which will be very interesting because the child won't be mine, and yet I carried it and all those things that are involved in the emotions and all those feelings. So I think that's going to be very interesting. I think it's a really good way of handling it without Major Kira suddenly having, I mean, she's got all the emotions going on, it'll be complicated, but she doesn't actually have a child. Because that would have meant hooking her up with someone, and they didn't want to do that right yet, or at all. I don't think Major Kira is ever going to be involved with anyone. They all die, don't they? No, they all die somehow. There was an answer there. Yes. Do I fight with the crew?
Offset.
Do I fight with the crew offset? Now I have to tell you, it's the sweetest crew. I was just telling the guys upstairs where I was waiting that when I go into labor, there will be about 50 men stalking around, smoking cigarettes. They're so sweet. The minute they found out that I was expecting a child, they were like, hey, you have to sit down. What are you doing? Sit down, you want some water? What's going on? We have the best crew. They're very, very good, sweet people. And thank goodness, because we spend so much time together that you have to learn to work like a family. And like a family, you know, sometimes you're grumpy in the morning, and mornings can be as early as 2:30 in the morning. So, but everyone knows it. Everyone knows what the routine is. So we are all pretty tight. And the cast too. Yes.
Are you ever going to get involved in Roadhouse?
What do you think? You probably know better than I do. I said in Australia, I'm surprised that the convention didn't say, it's a boy. And I go, oh, I was wondering what I was having. Before I did. You know everything about the show. You knew that Michael Dorn was coming in. The people at convention said, how do you feel about Michael Dorn coming in the show? And I went, what? I did. I had no idea. So what? Are we getting together, Odo and me? Yeah, you think so? I'll take your word for it. I don't know. It's kind of more interesting that we're friends and that there's some kind of tension there, and it's weird. Because isn't real life like that? Someone is in love and the other person just doesn't get it. And you think, how can they miss that? How can they miss it? But I'm here to tell you, it does happen. You can be friends with someone and have no idea. Yes?
What about walk? Get involved with him, maybe?
Those would be some fights. You know, I asked Michael, how do you feel about Major Kira? And he said, the terrorist thing is a big problem for me. Of course, I prefer a freedom fighter. But he says Worf would never think that she's cool to be with or to be around. He'll deal with the fact that she's part of the crew. But having been a freedom fighter, there's no honor in that. So that's his take. So from his side, and from my side, I feel like, well, calm down here now. I've managed to calm down. I think you're going to have to calm down and get used to this stuff. Yes?
When did you first do? When was your first Deep Space Nine? When did you first do it?
When did we start?
Yeah.
Let's see. It had to be 92. In August, I think we started, of 92. That's when we started the pilot. And the pilot took, the first 2 hours, took 6 weeks. It was like doing a film. We really worked very hard and long on it. And it was so interesting because we had no idea what we were doing. We had no idea what this was all going to look like because you're filming bits and pieces and you don't see the special effects and you don't see other people's scenes. And then to see it all together with the music and this, it was amazing. I was so proud to be a part of it, yes.
How did Michael Dorn settle into the show after doing Next Generation for 7 years and then a movie and then coming into DS9?
You know, it feels like he's the granddaddy of all of us. You know, he's just, and it's just another day's work for him. He knows the crew. He knows everybody so well, and he can say he's more knowledgeable in the sense of, oh yeah, we did that in the first season of the storyline, very similar to that. But other than that, if you've ever met him, he's charming and funny and sweet and open. So he's fit in very nicely. And I wasn't sure at first. I thought, oh, this is going to throw us all off. Another character coming in, especially Next Generation. But he's such an adorable man. You couldn't feel that way for very long. And seeing the shows, I think it's been a good addition. It's interesting, and to have more Klingons involved. It's interesting. They're fun to fight. Yes.
When you're learning how to use controls, do you ever have to
I'm sorry. Say it again.
Do you ever forget how to say the tactical words on Star Trek?
All the time. we call those technical words technobabble because sometimes it just comes out as babble. And I actually, as a Bajoran, I don't have to say that many, but I do have to speak Bajoran now and then. I get these Bajoran prayers, and that takes a long time to learn because I have to make up the meaning and I have to make up how it works. It's like learning a foreign language with nothing behind it. So yeah, there have been times that to me it's a point of pride. I want to get it the first time. I want to get all the technobabble the first time. But sometimes it goes on for this long and it's impossible. Siddiq is amazing at it. He can go on and on and on and on and on. I don't know how to do it. And hired the right person to be the doctor. It's like, and we're all watching him. If they're on our close-up, we're like, I can't do that. He's very good at it. I'm not bad, but sometimes you can see my face getting a little tense, and if that happens, I go, I've lost it. Okay, let's try it again. Yes?
Do you have much input on the way the character progresses? Like, can you say if they're going to do something with the character, can you say, no, I'm not going to do this, I think you wouldn't do this?
Yes. They don't always listen. But if I present an argument that makes sense to them, they have listened. I thought very hard about Golden Cop because it looked like there was going to be some kind of relationship there, and it seemed like he wanted a relationship. And I thought I didn't fight. What I explained to them is if I had been in an occupied land and seen my family killed by, and especially the atrocities that this particular man has committed, I can learn to work with him, I can learn to bury it deeper, but it will never be gone. And in a recent show, my character actually says that to his daughter. I say, I'll never forgive your father for what he's done. And I think that's truthful. I don't see how anyone could. I know I couldn't. So in those big terms, yes. I've had some, you'd be amazed what I fight about. And there's some other actors on the show that go, oh, here she goes again. But I think I've got to fight. I've got to fight for what I think. I know I'm not going to win them all, but it's up to me. I'm the only one who's going to fight for her, so I'll do it. And I remember holding up filming, and it was a difference of one word that I didn't want to say. And I was on the phone shouting to Ira Stephen Bear, one of our executive producers, and he was shouting back at me. And it all meant nothing, of course. It was just the way we talk. I think we're both from New York, so it's the way we know how to communicate. But he won, and when I saw it, actually we filmed it both ways. But of course, he took his way to put it in the show. And when I saw it, I agreed with him. So I'm not always right about it, and that's the point, to have an argument, and sometimes I sway him, sometimes he sways me. It's the best. Yes?
What was your favorite episode to film?
What was my favorite episode? To film. Well, that's different than to watch. To film, I like, that's a hard one. Yeah, I have to say the attendance shows were fun to film. Those were fun. Taking a milk bath and having one of our producers going, more rose petals. That was fun. That was actually a lot of fun. But to watch, still duet. I thought that was a very strong message, and it was really where Kira started to accept racism for what it was and start to look at individual people. So I thought that was really important.
What's it like to film those split screen shots with the attendant?
Ah! Split screen shots. That was a nightmare. That was a nightmare because one, well, I'm not even going to list the reasons why it was a nightmare, but the film is very expensive, so you don't get a lot of chances, so you're dealing with that. Plus, another woman says, well, what are you going to do? And you try to show them what you're going to do, that you're going to say, I'll see you later. So she goes, I'll see you later, which isn't exactly what you did, because you went, I'll see you later, but later. So, right? But you've got to match what she did, because you're filming on one side, she's filming on the other, and then when you go to film on her side, am I explaining this at all well? Okay. When you go on the other side, you have to match what she did, be your character, look natural, and remember down to, and then I'm so proud because I go later. And they say, she cocked her head like that. It was a nightmare to do those. It was very, very difficult, and we did it in one day. The one scene in the commander, he was commander at that time, in the commander's office. That scene took 12 hours to film, and it was me running back and forth. Boy, it was hard. Yes.
Is your personality similar to Major Garris?
Yeah. probably can't tell because I'm with you and we share something interesting and I'm fine. But I have to say, when I'm in the right situation, I can get pretty crusty. And I can also get very tough if I feel like that it's called for. It takes a lot for me to get angry or to get to my boiling point. And once I do, yeah, I'm known for having a temper. I just told Buster that yesterday. I said, Buster, you know your mom is known for having a temper. You don't want to see it. Just watch out for them. Yes.
The funniest on-screen accident, blooper.
See, now you're dealing with a pregnant woman who can't remember anything. Oh gosh, I wish Sid were in here right now. He probably remembers. Ask Sid, because he'll probably remember. I can't remember. I can't think of and they happen all the time. They do happen and we're dying laughing. But you know, it doesn't take much to make actors laugh when they're under that kind of concentration. Someone could say one line wrong. It's like, oh, did you hear that? It's like, yeah, so what? And we're just dying. Yes.
How about the story about when you fell?
Oh. They got on the internet and said, make her tell the story about when I fell.
No, it was in Cardiff when you mentioned it.
It was in Cardiff. Okay. I fell. I think it was the first season. It was the first season. And, you know, we get made up in trailers. So it was the morning, and it was raining. It never rains in LA, so when it does, everything is slick. And, or I just wasn't awake yet, I don't know. But I had my makeup on. I got my hair done in the trailer, and the stairs were metal and kind of rickety. And I was holding an umbrella in one hand to protect my makeup and hair. And my feet went right out from under me, and I fell on the metal right across my back. And I lay there. And of course, Colleen said, she fell like a ton of bricks. It was in the trailer, and the trailer, yeah, I did it. So I went, I can't believe it. I'm finally in a show I love, and I've broken my back. And I can't move. So, you know, and I was trying to be brave. I was going, no, I can work. It's okay. What do I have to do? I can do it. And they're saying, no, you have to go to a clinic. So they bundled me off. I was already in jeans and, you know, my sneakers and stuff. So they bundled me off to this clinic. And I'm sitting there going, I can't believe this. I just can't believe this. And the doctor comes in, this young, cocky doctor, going, okay, so you had a fall. Oh my God, your nose! I looked at him and I thought, he means it. He thinks he's going to be in the books over this one. He's about to take lots of photographs of me because he thinks I fell on my nose and accordioned it up like that. And I said, well, no. And this was the worst part. If he just gone, oh my God, that's so funny. But he tried to be cool. I said, no, see, I'm on a show called Star Trek and this is makeup. And he went, oh, yeah. Oh, we had them all in here, yeah. Yeah, we got all the Star Trek people in. So, you know, he tried to completely cover it. And when I got back, you know, like this, I had only really bruised my muscles really badly, and it took about a week to get over it. I met Colum and Avery in the street, and they were like, are you okay? And I told them the story, and they started to laugh. They were out in the street. I looked back at them, and all I saw was this. And then finally Avery was rolling around and it got around to everyone on the set. They told everyone the story of this poor doctor who now is known worldwide for being a jerk. I do feel bad for him. I really do. But that's how I felt. Yes.
Why hasn't Major Kira been promoted?
Why hasn't she? I I actually got hurt last season, the 4th season, when he got to be captain. It makes sense because I'm not in the federation.
But why haven't the Bajorans come over? She's done enough for the Bajorans.
I have done a lot for the Bajorans, I agree. But I think that there's some problem with the fact that I'm still working for the federation. They're not quite trusting that. Plus, look who's in charge, religiously. Yeah, not exactly a friend of mine.
Secular authority then.
Sure, but they're so mixed up. They're all mixed up. And Shakar's just, maybe Shakar is going to do something for me. You know, once he gets established in there. I don't know. Or I don't know. Do you think we should be together? No. Yeah, no. I feel the same way. But we'll see what happens, you know. Yes?
What about Major Kira's clothes specifically? I mean, usually we see her like blood-stained militia uniform. And as soon as she gets into something casual, it's like wispy.
That's such a good point. Like a little fairy woman. Yeah.
Like, do not complain of it because like she's sort of
Oh, I do.
like the type of person who'd rather have a gun than.
Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely do complain about those things. And there, you know, what you see on the screen are some fights I've won, some fights I've lost. And I'm thinking about some, wait till you see, yeah. But one fight, I particularly, they had us in that, do you remember, have you seen the one with, I think you have, with Dax and me in the baths, and she's trying to... Now, I wasn't supposed to be in such a bad mood as I was, but I had thought about Major Kira sitting there in this bikini, and they wanted me to get up and walk around. And I said, no. No, I got this thing on, which I don't agree with to begin with, but I'm not walking around for you. I'm sitting down, and it was an awful moment because this director got so angry at me. But some things, you know, some things you just have to fight for. But yeah, that does happen, and some of that is just the dollars and cents of it, and I can't get around that. But I will every bit I can. Every bit I can, I will.
Was that you in that in the holodeck program where it turned out to be Forrest Gump?
No, that wasn't me. It was supposed to be me. But I had just filmed the Kardashian show where I become a Kardashian, and I found out a very interesting thing about myself. I'm highly claustrophobic. I mean, highly. And this makeup took 5 hours to put on, the Kardashian, and they put this piece over your nose so that it just cover your nose so that you've got something, and you're breathing your own air back, and think that you've got rubber on the rest of your face, covering your face, and it's 20 hours. And I started to rip it off after 20 hours. I said, okay, that's it. I can't take it anymore. I gotta get out of this right now. And it was like, no, we haven't finished filming. And we went on, but I was going out of my mind. So the very next thing, the minute I'm finished with that, they say, okay, now we've got this cork head. Let's just put this on you. And I put the head on, and I went, okay, because it's a head, it's like a hat that goes over your head like that and down. And then they put the nose piece on, and she started to glue the nose on, and I went, no, I can't take it. I can't get it off me. And I really wouldn't do it this time. I said, I can't have that on. And especially since it was just a shot like that, and it didn't really matter. So they got a body double.
Visicon Mastering Committee. May we welcome Dublin City Visicon is not an answer to the competition.
Let the festivities begin.
I've been waiting for this. This was done in the space of 2 hours using only fabric pipes, fabrics and material that was on hand. So basically, this is what you can do. Each of this takes 2 hours.
And sticky back plastic.
I'm thinking about plastic, so you can't break it. May we present the new Talia Winters? And I'm afraid Susan Ivanova has had no chance because Talia doesn't use them. It's very nice, you've got to visit. Here is Justia's hat to fulfill that letter. Ladies and gentlemen, Harry Evans, that's Justia Dash, who stood no chance against his face. This is Michael Lalla. Michael, and in a very fine made classic Trek uniform. Michael, would you like to show yourself to the judges?
It is us you're trying to impress. Oh, maybe. All right. Okay.
I have to say the captain of the Voyager, 8 Janeway.
Yes. But still no pockets.
She needs pockets. Sasha, would you show the costume to the judges again, please, so they can check the costume?
Yes, and there are in fact no pockets. Complete authenticity.
Thanks.
Thank you.
The Klingon elite cadets. I can't pronounce it like wish to show their prowess with the backflip. And who do we have here? Miss Gurida. Miss Gurida. How does a Trill and an Andorian get together, I want to know. Very clever.
Well, we are lovers, and always remember this: love is blue.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have that is from French, and that is it. We have our gentlemen.
What are you kids? Look at you with those ears tossing those tails. That's not normal. I know normal.
Look, my only saving grace is that it takes me 3 hours to look like a tart, okay?
Jams and sugar.
She's going to bed now. Poor baby Deborah. Now, in third place, for keeping her blood oath, Kerry Evans as Jadzia Dan. In second place, showing that you can do superb workmanship that will be appreciated, Michael Lala as wearing the classic movie uniform. And I'll spit over this one. In first place, Liam Bruin and friends, because they didn't get all their names, they can attach, they quit. All prizes will be given tomorrow evening at the closing ceremony.
From the approximate shape, the deceased has to have been an omelette of some sort. Yes. Quite frankly, I think that the murder was probably committed by Commander Ivanova in an attempt to get rid of the only competition to Babylon 5 that is currently being broadcast on television. Because I'm afraid Star Trek just does not cut the mustard.
Move slightly out. Bring the weapon across left hand, top, right hand. Down straight. Back to the right. Lock. Parry. Change the hand grip to center position. Move forward straight. Over the weapon. See the way I bring that back. Nice and tidy. Back to this. 2. Inside strike. Back in. Sorry, one mistake. Move back to the right. Left. Parry down, change the hand grip to the middle, strike forward again. Inside parry again, move back on the right, lift the weapon over, strike head, down through the knee, recover, back in again. Lower leg strike, back on the left, blocking, back to the left. That's it. No, don't worry, you're doing very well today. Okay, slide over, lunge forward, back out. The last attack technique then was the push. Back on your right, moving back. Good. Parry down the weapon, change it, the blade in towards you, push. Okay. From there you move back again to stay in that position, finish, back up, change the grip, and we're now back to our starting position. That's it. How's that? Is that it? Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. Success. Anyone want to practice? I will get masters. Yeah. Here we go.
What's our song?
She makes them up every month. I don't have an idea. I'm Sid, by the way. You can call me that. You have to call me Alexander. How's she been?
Very good.
What he said to me just now was, you want to sit down? That is so sweet.
Just there.
Oh, I see.
You hand me the microphone, but I think we got to talk together.
Oh,
So, in some way. So, anyone want to ask questions about both of us? Neither of us can run away from or glamorize in each other's absence. Yeah.
How did you both feel when you heard that Deep Space Nine wouldn't be going to moves, they'd be going straight towards you?
We haven't heard.
What did I tell you? See, we hear it all from you first.
No, we haven't, but we probably had a sneaky suspicion, because we never thought DS9 would be kind of suitable for the movies. And we actually, personally, probably thought DS9 would be great for movies. But it would have to be like, I don't get that concept of like Alien, you know, a really dark and dangerous kind of movie. And it doesn't suit DS9 so much to do it in a kind of Voyager way.
I think the actors on the show would be very suitable for the big screen. But yeah, no, I can. Yeah, that's because we're two of the actors. But because everyone has a huge background in the theater, which doesn't always happen on television. Some people really don't have, you know, they have the right look or they have the right feeling, and it's hard for them to carry the big screen. I think we could do that, but I agree with Sid. You know, I never had big hopes for that at all.
Oh, it's a bit of a shock, though. All right. Anyone else got any revelations? Lady with the hat.
This is to do with pork, neither of you two.
Wait a minute. Marty.
There have been lots of kisses on a lot of the Star Trek, but Bork had a Cardassian girlfriend, and at the end they snobbed goodbye. Does it like kissing Frankie with all those teeth?
Well, from my own experience. Well,
I can only imagine that he was, if he wasn't just talking and then kissing, I bet he took his teeth out for that. But if it was a shot where he was talking and then he kissed her, it's got to be disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. You know, the prosthetics feel kind of like do you know those rubbers, you know, that are kind of wet feeling, the you know, erasers? Erasers, you know, and they're clear and they're kind of gummy and wet. Prosthetics feel nasty.
I'll place the flowers on the side. I think kissing corks a bit like kissing a small shark with back brain. No, I don't know. Yes. I'll get round here. Sorry.
Like filming Armand Bashir and
Dr. Honeybear. Can I say it here? I know, it was great fun filming Armand Bashir, because I mean, you know, it was like, you know, I got to play Bond. It was tremendous fun. Even if I'd never done Star Trek in my life, just to have 15 minutes doing that in some amusement arcade would have been great fun. So I had a tremendous time playing that, and Dr. Honeybear was very nice. Not as nice as...
Blonde. Top of the show.
Oh, the blonde with the champagne. You like that?
Yes.
I like that. But I like Miss Kimono. She has these special Russian instruments she uses. They're like rubbers.
Actually, I hope that they do another episode of that, because that was great fun. It's one of those opportunities for everyone to step out of the characters that they've been playing and do something totally different and wild. And I thought also Avery Brooks played a great madman. Great Dr. No, I thought.
Ha!
Yes. All of that.
She's good at that. I promised someone over here, but there's no one over here. So, with their hands up. How did you get here from Italy? Well done, well done. She's been a fan from America, who I know very well. Sorry, anyway, later. Hi.
One of the other people I asked earlier, Nana, and she pleaded pregnancy as an excuse, she couldn't remember the funniest blooper that happened.
What? How can you plead pregnancy? Oh, the memory. Unless the blooper was down here somewhere. I mean, there's... Oh, I we are asked this so often, she must have said this, and we're an incredibly unfunny set. I mean, we're an unfunny bunch of people anyway. So we're kind of looking to but we've done stuff. I think the only thing, I've said this before because it's the only one I can ever remember, but the only one that I remember clearly was that the key wardrobe guy came up to me and said, let's do a quick practical joke on the crew here. And I was doing this show where I was playing racquetball in this bizarre spray-on thing. Anyway, notice you've never seen that since. And he said it here, and he produced, I should keep this as cryptic as possible for the younger members of the audience. Not that they don't already know exactly what I'm talking about. But he produced this really rather, quite a large gherkin. And he said, is there a sign for, yes, I found a sign for So after getting vacuum packed into this costume, he managed to get this gherkin down. And so I came out with the gherkin in front of the whole crew, and I was going to do my next scene with Colin Meaney in his baggy shorts. And the sadness is, and I don't know what to make of it quite, but nobody noticed. Did the whole thing, standing around like that. Excuse me. I think Colin always gets the rough end of the deal with me when we especially playing things like racquetball. But they've got this running joke, and they haven't really got this Englishman and this Irishman went to a pub, And that's the running joke on Star Trek, basically. And that's what we do, an Englishman and Irishman went to a pub. And he was, why is it he's incredibly unhappy about the fact that every time he has to be with me on something like racquetball, he's the one looking really out of shape. He's like, oh. It's not that hard a leap for him. Eat Ireland, I said that. Eat Ireland. Oh yes, the courage of the land. I think I pretty much answered that question. I know this is the nearest thing. Yes, sir.
We've been told you're very good at Taco-Bell. How do you remember it?
You've been saying this, yes? I come on first tomorrow, okay?
You're right in
it. They're like bullets. They come to my head like bullets. I mean, mine is bio-babble. I mean, I got my own word for it, because it's, the Taco-Bell is more Dax's stuff. And I'm always like pretty anti-fibrosis and this and I can't remember it now. I wish I could. I should have one of those things remembered for special conventions because it would be really impressive, unfortunately. But I just learn it as quickly as possible, and really just before I go on set with the script here, and then say it. And sometimes I'm not very good at it, and I've been known to put, when I'm talking to someone here, the camera's behind the Niall's head, say, I'll put a piece of sticky tape here with the words on. I've done that.
Yeah. We've all done that. But for the most part, it's absolutely phenomenal that he whips these things off. It's unbelievable. You are
I'd like to apologize.
Of course, because I'm standing here pregnant.
Not the pregnancy excuse again.
Why?
So now we get down to the serious business of trashing our visitors. Same stuff applies. I mean, really, I don't have much to say sort of off the cuff. I'm much happier just answering questions and rambling like an idiot for 15 minutes. Someone's about to ask me about my name, because someone always does. So I'll just keep you hanging there for a second. But basically, the reason why I changed my name is that I was sitting around a restaurant table this time last year with a group of friends in London, and we were tasting some fine ale and wine, and we had a couple of drinks, and they all said, "Well, look, Sid, you've got this show. You've been doing it for 3 years now, or 4 years now, and you've got to do something to liven it up a bit. Change something, make something happen." I thought, well, I could change my name, and that grabbed everybody's attention, basically, and imagination, in fact. And what we did with the first name we came up with, which was a very serious name for about 3 weeks before it finally settled on Alexander, was Trumpton Womble. I was going to do it. That far away from doing it. It just seems so cool to be called Trumpton Womble. But then the reason why I was dissuaded was because no one in America really watches Trumptons or the Wombles, the Trumptons. So I didn't do it. I call myself Alexander because it's near to the beginning of the book where you find your names. I wanted something to say that I was half Sudanese and half English and blah 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 blah. And so that's basically how it happened. So that just cuts that out because I know someone might ask that. Yeah.
Are we going to see the relationship with Jansia going any further?
If not, why not? I don't know, I think if the ratings begin to slip, then they probably will, If it slipped too much, you'd probably be seeing a lot more than just Jadzia. So it's one of those kind of Dallas type kind of cliffhangers, the relationship between June and Jadzia. I think it got a bit cold after the first season. When it didn't happen at the end of the first season, like, it's not going to happen. But it's something I'm associated with the whole time. It's the first question most people ask me is, you and Dax, are you going to get together? And Dax, swears up and down that not in her lifetime is she going to get together with Bashir. She's more a war babe in her own terms. So I think she's probably more likely to get together with Worf than Bashir for a moment. Yeah.
Did you know what you were getting yourself into when you went to read the partners during Bashir in the first place?
No, I had no idea what I was going to get myself into when I went to read. When I went to read for the part of Julian Bashir, I remember I went on a tube. It was a Tuesday morning in London, and I got on the tube on the Monday night because I'd had a kind of bash somewhere on Monday. So really late. It was the last tube in London, and to somewhere in South London. And I was living in Tooting, if anyone knows London at all. So I was living there, and there was this Brazilian guy sitting on a bench around about where this lady's sitting here, and I was walking along, and I'd done something on TV, and there are about 3 people who've seen it. And this Brazilian guy, I think, was one of them. I'm not entirely sure, but I think he was one of them. And he was incredibly drunk. It was like kind of just like swaying. And you know how you do when you see someone swaying? You just sort of walk past. Just trying, especially on the tube late at night, you don't want to get involved. And immediately I walked past, I was like, hey! And I'm not going to try the Brazilian accent, but it was like, what is it all about? And I thought, oh no, I've heard that before. So anyway, I thought I won't totally offend him. I sat down at the end of the bench near him there, and he was like, well, come on, tell me what it's all about. You're an artist, you think you're great and everything. I was like, oh no, please. I said, what's it all about? What's happening in the world? Why is art going downhill? This is too deep for me. It was about 1 o'clock in the morning. And I had this audition for Star Trek the next day. And I said, well, I'd rather not talk. And I picked up my newspaper and read it. And he was like, you are so unpredictable. This went on for ages. And he began to do these kickboxing, sort of boom, like that. We were just coming to here to try and intimidate me. Some of those, oh God, he's also got the mental age of, 1-year-old. and he's going to be doing this to me. Anyway, so he kept on kickboxing, and everyone else on the platform found it very amusing. That I was just sitting there like, oh my god, do not hit me. And we got on the tube, and he started to follow me on, and became even more intimidating. And the tube was packed full of people, and you know how in London the tubes are just like, everybody completely ignores you. And if you were to literally have a heart attack, you would have like, that's my stop, I'm getting off. And so this guy kept on doing his kickboxing thing, and I was just trying to figure out what to do to keep him calm. And after about 10 minutes, about 3 or 4 stops, he came up to me and like sort of looked at me, and nothing was happening with the kickboxing. So he just picked up his arm and threw it in my face. And I had a huge black eye. And all I remember going through my head right at that moment was, oh my god, I've got this Star Trek audition tomorrow, I'm not gonna... I remember watching boxing, and you know on the side of the ring, that painful, they're pushing their eyes shut when they're all bulbed up. And I could feel my eyes going, so I was just pushing my eye, completely forgetting about him. And of course, everyone was very amused with this guy holding his eye. And then after a couple of seconds, it wore down, and he had enough. He finally got his end away, and he was quite happy with the fact that he hit me. So he decided to get off at the next platform. And then I realized, what about my manliness? Why didn't I hit him back? All these people watching, I didn't know. So I sort of shiftedly walked out after him looking really tough. And went that way. That was my first, that Tuesday going to the audition. I just had a slightly green eye. And I thought I was reading for part of Dr. Bashir, which I knew, but it was a guest role, from what I could tell. It was just a part that was on, because they have the Bible, you've seen the Deep Space Nine Bible maybe, or one of the Next Generation Bible. Huge amount of copious notes on every character, and what they do, and what hand they use when they're writing, and all sorts of, useless information, basically. And Dr. Bashir was, well, he's young, he's pretty arrogant, naive, that was it. That was all there was on Dr. Bashir. So I thought, well, that's obviously a guest role. And I did it, and we did it kind of badly in front of the person. So the line I had was one from the pilot where Jadzia and I were on a shuttle in to the station for the first time. And we just got off, and we came up to the docking ring, and she said something, I can't remember what it was. Helpless, isn't it? But I remember stuttering no. I was going, no. Or something. I said, anyway, that was my audition piece. No. So I was practicing, no. Anyway, I did it. And so I was expecting to get a guest role. It's a long-winded, I told you I'd be long-winded. And I wasn't. I got a great part. Yes.
When you're in the bar, what do yourself and O'Brien actually drink?
Oh! Caliber. You know that low alcohol, non-alcohol, useless drink? That's what we drink. We drink that well, why what for? We spent the first, when you get to 18 or 16 or whatever age you first drink, and you spend all those days trying to learn how to like beer. And you're like, oh, God, it's gross. And finally you like it because you're buzzed and you just fall over. And then someone invents something with no alcohol in it whatsoever, and people are drinking that, and it tastes awful. Without any of the good stuff. So, anyway, we drink that, and Colin is totally livid by the fact. But nevertheless, he drinks it like he drinks 4 or 5 pints of it. Excuse me, it's the lavatory back every couple of minutes. But that's what we drink. That, and then they sometimes put a drop of food colouring in to make it look green. Yeah. Right at the back.
I heard that on Deep Space Nine.
Oh, this is another revelation, isn't it? That Bashir isn't in it this year. Really?
Scotty wants to go back in time. So, Chief, Brian, and Cisco are going back in time, back to the original Enterprise.
Whoa! Who told you that? On the net sort of thing. I would say that's a fair amount of bull. Those kind of stories don't tend not to get leaked unless they really, this early, no one would know, because the writers tend not to have any idea what's going on. But finish, yeah.
destroyed the next unit?
I heard the Defiant was in first connection, first contact. First contact. Well, I don't know, maybe it is destroyed. I mean, I know, Wolf, he lives on it and everything, but I can't drive it or anything like that. I mean, but he's got, I think he's in charge of the Defiant. I mean, I've heard also, I've always thought of the Defiant as a sort of intergalactic ice cream van. Like, boom, 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 boom. Deep Space Nine people are here. What would you like, young man? So I've never quite got the hang of the Defiant, because I've always loved the Enterprise and all that, and this huge ship, and they were like saying one season, they were saying, well, we've got you a ship. Not only that, but it's the biggest battleship that Star Trek can muster. It's the guts and the guns, it's got more things in it. And I went, where is it? It's like, it's running. Oh, it's very nice. Ding dong, ding dong. Yeah.
Why is it that Colin Meaney and O'Brien always gets better with the points and not you?
Why he always gets beaten up, not me? He's out of shape. No, I think, I mean, obviously I'm superior physical prowess. And, I mean, who would you fancy in a bar fight, I don't know how on earth that happens. I think it's because he's got the best line, he's the best actor at being like a bear with a sore head. And the only person you can do that to is me when I'm trying to fix him up. If you could swear on that show, he'd be, The one thing he's most angry about is being blue collar. He's been blue collar all his life, and even when he gets a promotion, he suddenly disappears and goes somewhere else. I think he had a promotion when he came onto the show, and no one quite knew what he was promoted to or where from. And he figured it out, and he went backwards. And finally they given him some other promotion, but I think he's fed up always being an enlisted man, I think it's about time he got promoted to a kind of serious officer, instead of this sniveling little doctor telling him what to do. Yeah?
Are you going to keep your beard?
Ah, good question. I wish I could. I don't think I can, because I think they want Bashir to look 1 or 2 years older than you. And so I'm going to probably have to shave my beard off when I go back to America. And I keep it on as long as possible, so I feel slightly different. I like having a beard when I stop work.
And my mum also likes it.
Your mum is very pretty when she blushes like that. She might send you to bed with no supper tonight. Realise that. What's your name?
And she also says
No, tell me, I need to know. I need to know. Someone better ring the police. I'm sure she's joking. Is that? Tomorrow after the show I'll be like, oh, and is that your father? Yes, sir. Distant Voices was hard to film. Distant Voices was hard to film, yeah. It was actually a nightmare. I never get to have prosthetics on, so I swan in, and I have 10 minutes makeup and I go on set. But Armin and Andy Robinson and all those boys have to come in really early, 3 or 4 in the morning, and the worst thing I thought about it was the time I normally have dinner, I'm driving into work. Past people enjoying drinking a bit of dinner and everything, and I'm going into work right now. Anyway, so I hated all that, getting up really early and doing that stuff. Other than that, I quite enjoyed myself. I had a quite good time. It was, you don't have to get a chance to play 4 different ages. So I enjoyed it. And the prosthetics were so good that it was hard not to kind of get it all, all that stuff. It was quite fun. So I had a good time, but it was tricky only in terms of stamina, which I have very little of. Yeah.
Space Nine?
What did I star in before Deep Space Nine? I didn't really star in anything. I kind of co-starred in a couple of things. I co-starred. Will you just let me dodge the question? You man with courage.
Can you really play darts, or is that just put on?
I can play a bit of darts. You know, I mean, comedy pub darts. You know, like everybody can. You know. Oh, yeah, 17. What's that? Oh, hang on. 17. Wait a minute, don't throw. What do you need? Oh, I need a double. Oh, wait a minute. Double. No! Ah, sorry, you threw it already. Double 80. It's a bit like that with Colin. And we both fancy ourselves, you know, because we're the only two kind of people from this side of the Atlantic over there. And they have this, they have darts specialists who come to teach us. This darts specialist arrives. And this darts specialist looks like a survivalist. He's got his like kind of combat gear on. And he's kind of, I think he's from somewhere in the Midwest, I'm not quite sure where. And he arrives as the dart specialist, and he's got all the obligatory tattoos on his arms and everything. And he's got the big beard going on, and everything like that. And he comes up, and he's like, and we've got this great dartboard, and he's like, okay, now, because we need this shot, all right? I think his name is Doug. And we need this shot, Doug. You've got to get a double 20, and then you've got to get a bullseye. He was like, all right, okay. Completely missed the dartboard. No idea how to play darts, our dart specialist. So he was booted out pretty quickly by Colin. We were like, get out of here. Get you out of here. But we play, you know, comedy pub darts. Like, well, I bet everybody who plays great darts, but we can hit the board. That's about it. Yeah.
I'm not trying to be cruel or anything.
No. You are pretty close.
Name any flags behind you? How many?
Can I name any of these flags behind me? The Star Trek question. Okay. That's a dart specialist. Right, that's familiar. Okay, that one is Brazil, 74 World Cup. Not sure. Don't quote me on that. Bejor. That's what I really like about it. I love the badge she has to wear. We don't get one of those. That's the Federation of Planets. That is the Federation, isn't it? Yeah. Cardassians. Klingons. I've seen them around, you know. I know all that stuff, I'm just pretending. That one's the Green Men. Yeah? In that original series, part 2 of the second part of episode 384. Okay, you put me to shame, right? You happy? I can read that name from here. Don't come to LA looking for work. Yes, sir.
Living in the States, is there any part of Britain that you miss, like the TV or anything?
Is there anything about Britain that I miss living in the States? Yeah. I mean, you know, I've got a lot of friends here and stuff. I really do. There. Sorry, I know that. I really like you very much. Very, very nice people. Yeah, no, there's some things I miss. I just don't know. I just put them out of my mind. I mean, I miss a good pint. You know, I don't like. I'm not sorry, but I don't like American beer very much. You don't either.
That's why we lived in.
That's why you moved. Good reason to move. We don't like the beer. Let's go to England. Or Ireland. Oh, you know, I've got a butt that's black and blue because I do that with Colomini around. I mean, it's the worst thing I could possibly do, and I should know better by now. I'm always going, yeah, back in old England when we were back at home and everything's like, oh. I mean, back in Ireland, I remember the Republic, you know. You come and tell me to get lost. No, I'm gonna stand talk. No, I'm kidding. Thank you very much indeed. I'll see you tomorrow.
Military science.
Do it.
Perfect.
Yeah, what is she?
She's a major.
She's a major.
Really?
Secret Service.
She's a real major.
In the intelligence corps.
She's a very cool woman.
Ah, nice building. Inside, that's good.
Well, so. My granny swears by it. She's 9 kids.
What, there's something very...
I stole one of your pens now.
Perfectly fine. Hello. Here's this. Hello. Deb.
She's just going to give me a problem. Yes, next week.
Okay. Hello, how are you?
Hello, good. How are you?
Not too bad, thanks. Can I ask you to use some silver?
No, it's silver.
You can't, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine.
Highly allergic.
How are you?
Yeah. Lillian. L-I-L-I-A-N. Pardon me? 1 L.
Could you make that again, please?
Absolutely.
Somewhere. I should have asked that question, didn't I?
There, I got it.
Thanks a million. Thank you.
Hi.
Dermot.
Dermot? Okay. You're going to have to
Thanks very much.
There you go. Yeah, I'll give it to you. Oh, how easy. There you go. Well, he's selling them. Hi. If you go there, he might get them. S-H-A-Y. Ah.
I was actually hoping I could cheat. I don't know if I can.
Okay. Make it so. Right, we will open the bid. We will open the bid for a signed t-shirt and a visitor at. What do you think? Give me a number. Give me a number. £1.
3 quid.
3.
20.
Thank you. Thank you.
25.
Oh,
35. 30.
Oh,
30.
wait a minute.
Okay. We only got two plus 50. Okay, we're up. We're up. £30.
£30 for this hanging t-shirt.
£30. 35 £30. Come on, 30 quid. It's good cause. Good hospital.
But we got £30 for us.
We have got £30
We got £30 for the show.
£30. Going to go once.
The Michelle might be up to 35.
35. 40. 40. To you, sir.
Let the baby know.
Don't nod, anybody. So we're at 40. At 40 pounds. Going once. Come on, you miserable shower. 45. I have 50 pounds. 50 pounds.
55 if he signs it too.
55 if I sign it too. So that means it's 50 quid for the t-shirt and 5 pounds for 60. 60. I have 60 pounds.
But assume I sign it on the back. Assume I sign it on the back.
60 pounds. 60 pounds. This wonderful t-shirt. 60 pounds. Good cause. Charity. Little babies. Come on. 60 pounds. 60 pounds. We have to fly people in to buy things from us. Going once. Going twice. Put your hand up. Sold. Thank you.
How are you?
We're trying to organise tea and coffee, and I think we've got to spare some cold coffee. It's on the way. Did you?
No problem at all. Today. Last night was short. Very short.
Yes, we went straight.
Yes. But then we were awakened with jackhammers and brass bands at 7:30.
Yeah, well, that was a little surprise to be organised for you. It was really nice.
It was very impressive.
The title was too many times.
Ken also, I love the radio there actually. I get a word you guys there around it?
Absolutely.
Very great pleasure to meet you. Yes, huge fan of Nana. I saw this place now. I'm going into it.
Thank you so much.
Sorry, I'm happy now. Go and never watch that. Okay, just when you guys get relaxed and
Anytime. We're ready.
Thanks.
You got it. Like a little crab under there, scuttling away. Where's Buster?
Yeah, we're going to send it to Carl.
Oh, here's a jacket of his. Maybe I can find some toys in his jacket. Maybe there are toys in here. No? No toys in here. Whoops, I dropped something.
It's me! Ow! I got a foot!
You got a foot?
Yeah,
Well, I'm getting out of here then. I didn't know you had a foot.
I'll race you out of here!
Oh, I'll race you. Run.
I'm getting you!
Gotcha.
I'll get you! I'll go right out.
Okay.
Straight out. Well, why were you doing that? Are you putting that to me?
Yeah,
Why?
for your mum's friends.
Are you sure you don't want to be in the picture? You sure you don't want to be in the picture with your mom?
No. I don't want.
Oh, no problem.
So I do, and then come over.
Listen, thanks very much.
Sorry for taking up your time, and maybe you can come back to Ireland one time.
The door opened and the stripe would take it to its various facilities.
Sensible. There you are.
And in conjunction with that, the stripe for the Klingon would take it to the nearest earlock, where he would step through.
How are we? You are feeling great? Good.
Hi, Dennis.
How much sleep did you have?
Oh, 2 hours and I woke up with leg cramps all down there.
You've got 2 minutes.
To do what?
For Babylon 5.
What?
For Babylon 5.
It's just starting.
And just happens to be you're in the queue right below the TV.
Oh, what a coincidence.
What a
I
coincidence.
was just saying to James that it'd be a case if you're getting the guest assignment and you're like, hang on a sec, you know, just let it start, you know. Get your priorities right.
Remains adjustment. That truth honors and
sanctifies our fallen comrades who have made the ultimate sacrifice so that we might carry on the work.
Oh, John, thank you so
They're
much.
gathered here today
Yet another little boy is going to love you. Yeah.
to honor their memory
How are you?
and their needs.
Is George from Germany? You bus with the truck?
Absolutely.
Okay, you know.
Thank you very much.
How have you liked coming to Ireland?
You know, this trip, we got to meet the people of Ireland. At this convention, we got to meet a wonderful cross-section in terms of age and all kinds of different ranges. And that's been wonderful. Next time, and we must come again, next time we'll see the sights. But I think we got to know the heart of Ireland, the people, and that's a terrific trip as far as I'm concerned.
You would definitely return back to Ireland, definitely.
Definitely.
Yeah, you bet.
I have a dinner invitation from a very sweet young girl, so I've got to come back. I've got to come to dinner.
Would you ever consider...
You did. You're coming with us.
Okay. Would you ever consider coming to the north of Ireland at all?
I don't know.
You bet. It's,
Yes?
I mean, one thing that another woman doesn't know about, because it's we read what we see in the press, and a little bit closer to home in England, even though we're not very popular over there, we still hear the slightly less film, and it's not, you're not walking down the street and bombs are going off all the time, and it's actually some very beautiful parts of the north, and I would love to show the north of Ireland just as much as I would some parts of Kerry and Clare.
I hope that the show doesn't outlast everybody's creativity involved with it. If we started to do hackneyed shows, if people started to get tired of it, who were creating the show and involved in the show, no, I'd like for it to die a nice, easy death. But if we continue to do good work, I'd like to see it go on as long as possible.
Yeah.
Sid, did you actually go to a bar last night and talk to just anybody?
No, I went to a bar last night, and I didn't just talk to anybody. I was meaning to. I didn't know about this, but I said to Unis yesterday that I'd go down to, what I wanted to do was go to a bar in Ireland, have a Guinness, and just talk to whoever was there, because I heard how friendly everybody was in the bars.
Well, no, wait a minute, he did just that, and everyone was very friendly, right? It just happened to be me and Buster.
They were friendly.
But we were friendly, and he did have a pint.
I
so
did have a
there you
pint. I'm not going to get to do it this time. I'll get to do it another time, and I'll look forward to it. I know kind of what to expect. Colin's filled me a bit on what to expect.
Why does Colin know?
Maybe I'll go down to the Keys and check out some of the bars down there.
How do you feel about becoming a father? And becoming a mother again for the second time?
You know, that I've done it before means nothing. It's so interesting. It's a whole new experience, a whole different set of circumstances, different human being inside of me. So it's all new again. And it's every emotion you can have as a human being, really, just about every one you have as an expectant mother anyway. So it's the highs and lows of it are just amazing, and it's good because by the time you have the child, you're a strong soldier because you made it through the pregnancy.
I'm thrilled. I mean, it's like going back to school again. I mean, especially with Buster around. I'm trying to remember everything to do with being a child and what I loved doing, and learning how to make ships and fly airplanes and build models
great
and
at all
paint
that
stuff and all that. So I'm looking forward to doing all that with my son, and we're going to build some big ships.
Have you thought of any names yet?
Yeah, we got a lot of names, but we haven't
really stuck with any of them.
No.
Trumpton Womble?
Trumpton Womble is pretty. We're throwing that around right now.
Wasn't that supposed to be your name?
That was supposed to be mine.
Right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
It's very, very short, and I've got
You poor
Swiss
thing.
cheese brain.
What a long time to wait for that.
I want to say a big thank you to all of you guys who watched the show and made it such a warm, terrific experience for both of us.
You're here. Thank you so much. It's been a joy.
It's astounding. Time is fleeting.
Madness takes its toll, but listen closely.
Not for very much longer.
I've got to keep control.
I remember doing the time war, drinking those moments when the blackness would hit me and the void would be calling. Let's do the time war again. Let's do the time war again.
It's just a jump to the left.
Let's go to the right.
With your hands on your hips.